Hello there, it's David here. I am glad that you're here once again to join me as we share and remind ourselves of the very most important things that are happening, that are ours, that are a blessing to us, and those things that may not be a blessing so we can avoid, and those things that may not be a blessing or we don't have to avoid, but they are not, we have no dealings with them. There are such things as those that those that you have no dealings with, and then there are those things that are for your blessing, and then there are those things that you avoid, completely avoid. So we are here once again to remind ourselves of what the Spirit of God is working in our midst, and I'm glad to have you. Today I would want to shortly share about the times that we are living in. I'm sure you have heard of what is called the end times. What are the end times? You know, the end times have been known to be synonymous with events that bring about a lot of destruction. The end times have been known for all these events that bring about destruction. In other words, events that man look to in the negative. Talk about wars, talk about pests, disease, talk about earthquakes. Talk about you know the scriptures paint quite a cinematic event that characterize the end times. But we are here to also know that God is a good God, and to remind ourselves that for as much as the end has been prophesied, and to have events that bring about a lot of fear, that bring about a lot of panic and a lot of scary things that must happen, Jesus told his disciples that when you shall see these things, look up, for your salvation is at hand. He says, look up, meaning that, yes, these things can be as scary as they may want, and but because we know that the Lord is good, he says, he does not just leave it there. He says, look up, meaning that we are not to partake of these things. You understand? Look up. Says, look up. We are not to partake of these things. We are not sharers of these things that are negative, because the Lord is a good God, and the Lord would not only make the end times about just negative, catastrophic things that have been prophesied to happen. The Lord also says, look up, meaning that while all these things are happening, where our focus is what matters. So yes, the end times are to be characterized by quite eventful events that might be happening, eventful events. But our focus is to be up, not so that we may escape the events that are happening, but so that we might draw from the good God the good that is meant for the end times. The good that is meant for the end times is not the wars and the pests and diseases and the earthquakes. The good is the love of the Father that is shed abroad our hearts, that many men shall get to know this Father and begin to have a personal and intimate relationship with Him, even in these days. So yes, there will be all that things as are prophesied, but our focus is going to be up, not in fear of what is happening, but because we intend to draw man more to the Father than to these catastrophic events. So it is very important where our focus is in this day, because the scripture says, what you behold is what you become. It says, beholding as in a mirror the glory of God, we are transformed in the same image. We become what we behold. So, if we look at the catastrophic events, then our lives will be full of fear. But if we focus and we look up at the glory of the Father, then our lives will be full of the love of the Father, and we will be equipped to handle these days. We are not praying that these things do not happen, because we are not the ones that prophesied them. You understand? We are asking that our focus be in the right place, so that we meet these events head on, not in fear, but in power and in love and in a sound mind, as is given to us by the Father. So thank you for being here once again. Think about these things, and may they help you to live a much better life each day. In the name of the Lord, have a great rest of your evening.